this episode of United, Serving It Up, we'll show you how to do it right. We'll take a peek into the world of engineering. Sidelined, we'll show you what it's like to overcome an injury. And don't get stressed out, it can do more to you than you think. United starts now.
Hi, I'm Stephen Helmkamp. Today I have with me the head UCF women's tennis coach, Stephanie Nikitas. How you doing today, Coach?
All right, great. Thanks for having me.
What are we going to be learning about today?
We are going to talk about the serve today and the importance of that particular shot to everybody's game. It's a shot that you can control yourself. You've got all the time in the world and you have plenty of time to go work on the technique on your own. You can get out there with a basket of balls all the time, every day, and work on your serve by yourself and just really get the technique down pat.
Now, are there different strategies that go into serves when you're playing different opponents, whether it be a right-hander or a left-hander?
Absolutely. So that's why it's important to develop all aspects of the serve, different speeds, spins, slice, kick, topspin, flat. So there's many different variations, and it's important to work on all of them. So depending on what your opponent's weaknesses are, you can go with that.
Now, how important is like your first serve, your strong serve, compared to your second serve?
They're probably both equally as important. You want to have a good, solid first serve, but to me, second serves are hugely important. You know, you want to have confidence in your second serve. That's why going out and practicing second serves over and over again is probably one of the most important things you can do as a developing tennis player.
Is there any particular workouts that one can do to help the movement of the serve?
Physically, it's really important to keep your shoulders strong when doing a lot of TheraBand type exercises to make sure you're working the small muscles inside your shoulders and your rotator cuff. That's really important because if you go out and serve too much, and also if you have the wrong technique, you could hurt yourself a little bit.
Right. Well, Coach, thank you for all the tips.
You're welcome.
Are you ready to give us a little demonstration?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so one of the most important things about your serve is actually what grip that you use. We see too many players trying to use a forehand grip when they're serving, and that doesn't allow you to hit all the different spins on a serve. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a continental grip. And that means that you're grabbing the racket right in the center, just like that. The V in your thumb and forefinger goes right on the top of the grip, like that. The next thing we're going to talk about is your toss and the location of the toss. That's probably the second most important thing on a serve. For a right-hander, you want to make sure that you're using your left arm and going straight up off of your left thigh. We kind of like to imagine that there's a clock right here, and you've got 12 o'clock in the center, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and so forth. And then each serve that you're going to hit, you're going to have a different toss on that clock. If you're going to hit a flat first serve, you want it to be right out there in front at 1 o'clock. Okay, so when you're on your own and you're practicing your serve and you're working on your toss, you can take your racket and put it down in front of you, probably about 2 feet ahead of your left foot, and work on getting your toss straight up and straight down and try and have it land right there on those strings. This way you eliminate the curve and the arc and the spin that sometimes people put on that ball. So you want it to just go straight up and straight down. All right, so another important aspect is the rhythm of your serve. You really want to establish a good rhythm so that you're getting your toss in the right spot and your point of contact is the same every single time. We like to tell our players to think in their heads of the rhythm of going 1, 2, go. So he's just going to go ahead and have a really smooth, fluid motion going in the rhythm of 1, 2, go. Perfect. Everything on the serve is connected. Obviously, you got to get that toss up high enough so that you can really reach up. You want to be as tall as possible when you serve That way you get a better angle coming down over the net. You'll have more power, you can hit the ball harder, and change variations as well. So when Jacopo's practicing his serve, he really wants to focus on getting that toss up in the right spot so that his right arm can come through as high and as extended as possible. Okay, now building upon what we've already talked about, we want to make sure that you're transferring your weight into the court. You know, if you're hitting a ball in that direction with some force, you obviously want to have good weight transfer following the ball. You want your body to follow the direction of the ball that you're hitting. So on either side of the court, you want to make sure that that toss is up out in front so that your body just naturally comes through with a little bit of momentum into the court. All these things that you can go out and practice, you can control it on your own and really do a lot of work on improving your serve technique, and your serve will get better.
Make sure to stay tuned. We got more United after this.
Did you know that engineers have among the highest average starting salaries of any occupation? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, depending on their specialization, new engineers make an average of between $47,000 and $60,000 a year as a starting salary. Don't touch that remote. United returns in a moment.
We build bridges, design electronics, and equip the military. We are engineers. It takes a creative, mathematical, and scientific education to do our job, and it can be a very rewarding path in life for the right individual. At UCF's College of Engineering and Computer Science, there are countless opportunities to put the gears in motion and send the rockets to flight. And we ask our educators in charge, you can do what?
Hello, my name is Marwan Saman, and I'm the Interim Dean of the College of Engineering and Computer Science here at UCF. We are on campus, and behind me, as you can see, is the Harris Engineering Center. This building houses the School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science.
The programs that we have in computer science are programming itself, actually the ability to write software for various applications. Students will learn things like artificial intelligence, computer architecture, computer graphics. They'll also learn things like human-computer interaction, which is sort of the interface between the computer and the human. So there's a variety of different things that the students will learn when they come into the computer science program.
It's in this lab that students learn about interactive simulation, how to take the science they learn in the classroom and the technology available with computers today to develop simulations that help companies do their jobs better, help pilots fly safer, and better train our national defense troops. As you can see here on board, one of our instructors has been explaining to students how these simulation programs work and how the different data files are connected to one another in order to make a useful simulation that will have important applications in the transportation field or in the military.
In this school, we educate students in the field of electrical engineering, computer engineering, and computer science to basically carry on what these scientists and engineers have done over a span of almost 300 years.
Never before have we seen such a massive use of computers on a daily basis. Not just in video games, but in all types of domains, but specifically with video games. So I think it's a very exciting field because we have the ability to have the work that we do make an impact relatively quickly, as opposed to maybe other research areas where it may take 15, 20 years to make a real impact.
This is a manufacturing laboratory where students from industrial engineering and mechanical engineering essentially manufacture things.
I'm standing next to the Mini Baja vehicle that our students in mechanical engineering and the Society of Automotive Engineers work on each year. Students in mechanical engineering design parts for this car each year as part of their senior design experience.
Experience in the laboratory, hands-on experience, is really essential for our students to be successful out in the real world.
The one common thing among all the engineering disciplines is that engineers are problem solvers. And that's what we focus on from day one. There's a problem. It's not about whether you need to figure out whether there is a solution or not. You know that there's a solution. Your job is to find it. There's actually multiple solutions, and your job as an engineer is to find the best solution.
The problems are changing on a daily basis. The problems of 5 years ago are very different from the problems we face right now. And civil engineers are uniquely placed to look at the infrastructure that we have, such as buildings, bridges, pipelines, dams, and so on, and to come up with new solutions, more innovation. We use things such as computers and non-destructive testing and lasers and all of these different things that are exciting. We use those in our discipline in civil engineering to come up with solutions to problems, and that's why we are problem solvers.
We very much encourage interaction of students from various departments so they can learn how to work in teams when they graduate from here with students from other disciplines.
It doesn't have to be taught as a hard discipline. It doesn't have to be taught as a tough for a particular gender type of discipline. Anybody can be a good engineer with the proper training.
Whether you want to make cars that drive themselves or design components for space exploration, it all depends on what your core interests are. If you would like more information on the College of Engineering and Computer Science, you can visit our website at www.cecs.ucf.edu. Don't go away, we have more United coming up. Being a student athlete in college is hard, but being an injured student athlete is much harder. Broken bones and the fear of broken dreams are not the only obstacles these sidelined student athletes must battle when injured during play. Sometimes the stakes are much higher. But as these student athletes will tell you, you should never give up hope.
When you first get injured, I mean, you think, you're done forever. You get the pit in your stomach, the feeling that it's not going to work out and, you're going to have to move on to other things.
When I found out when I had cancer, I just came to the training room one day because my chest was hurting. And I walked into the room. They didn't know what it was until we went to the doctor. And we ran some tests, and they couldn't find out until we took an MRI. And they found like a large mass on my chest. And we just took it from there. And then each day by day, we found out I had a tumor.
When we found out about the disease that Darius had, and by us not knowing before, it kind of hit us like a shock. Like, I hope we don't lose Darius. No, he's a good player. He never really gave nobody no problem. He was one of the kids that I always played around with, so I'm thinking if we lose him, I don't know what we'll do. That's just like losing a family member.
The worst mindset I could have had throughout this whole thing was just me giving up, me just already thinking that I'm dead, plain and simple.
And you just got to stick with it. I mean, you got to do the rehab and the work to get better.
Throughout the whole process, I was probably the calmest person you'll ever meet in your life going through that. I really just went in, it's I had no question I asked. I was like, all right, just do what you got to. And just hope I get through it. I just prayed. Me and my family just prayed, training room. And I just went through it.
The next couple of days, you just kind of cope with it. You get the support from your teammates, which help tremendously, even more than your parents probably. Because, some of them have been through what you've been through.
Well, I mean, you can only be supportive, especially, for a teammate who's battling through a nagging type injury or even an injury that, they know that it's going to take them a while to get back. And because, they're your teammate, they're your friend, and you're there to support them, on and off the field. So.
Being sidelined is probably the hardest thing to deal with. It's not pressure during a game, it's nothing. I mean, being injured and watching your teammates go through what you're normally used to going through is pretty hard.
When you go down and not being able to play, it's just, it feel like you're not with the team, but you is, The
team has welcomed Darius back, by punching on him, beating up on him, told him, we was telling him as he got small as he went home, was you working out? It's a big family we play around. We're going to welcome back in the football way. We're not going to welcome back as if we're going to say, oh, Darius, we miss you, this and that. We're going to beat him up. We're going to make him come back into the team. It's like a brotherhood, and he's the little brother now. He got to start back over and work his way back up to the top. The team's not comprised of, 28 guys that are healthy. It's, the 33 guys that are there on the team at all times.
Injuries happen. I mean, you can look at Olympic athletes that have been injured, and it's the strong ones who are able to not care about why it happened, but what do I have to do to get better?
What do I have to do to get back on the field? I think that's the most important thing.
You can conquer it, you know, you can get over it. And just most things, just don't never quit. Just go through it, you know, because you will conquer it if you're willing to, as long as you got some willpower.
Physical injuries and illnesses can cause a lot of stress on the body and mind. If stress goes unmanaged, weird things can happen to a person. Stay tuned to United, because when we come back, we'll hear from a doctor who will tell us what stress is really about and how you can avoid becoming a victim.
Hey, this is LT from 101.1 WJRR. You're listening to the best sounds of area music. UCF Athletics, Access Magazine, and WJRR are proud to support local artists.
No ordinary cat on this mic shift. When I tight shit, when I spit, it's a vice grip. Ice cold like ice creeps and ice cubes. Homie, when you really get to know me, I'm a nice dude. You can hear it, I'm nice dude. Need a couple 16s, that's 32, I'll write for you. I would like to introduce y'all to the NOC. Take a deep breath and we'll start. The sound is bombastic, supersonic. If I was you, I would jump up on it. Control when I come around.
Welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Monette, and he is one of the team physicians here at the University of Central Florida, and he's also working at the North Seminole Family Practice. Dr. Monette, what is stress?
It's the body's response to emotional or physical threat.
What are the basic effects of stress?
It depends. It depends on what stage you're in.
There are different stages?
There are. There's actually 3 stages. The first one's alarm, which is like the fight or flight. It's when you first are presented with the type of stress. So say, you know, somebody dies, you get fired from your job, you break an ankle. That's the first stage where you develop a lot more cortisol. It's actually a good thing because it does help you get over the problem. It increases your cognition, and also your acuity gets a little bit better. But then you get into the second stage, which is resistance, where you've been stressed out for maybe a week or so. Your resistance actually starts to diminish. So your cortisol levels still are up, which is actually a bad thing, which can set you up for certain diseases, which we'll talk about in the third. But you're still functioning okay. It's probably affecting your sleep now. It may be affecting some of your performance. And then the third stage is exhaustion. This is when you've just been you've been dealing with the stress for so long. It's just affected all parts of your life now. You're not sleeping, you're not eating real well, you're losing weight, your immune system's down. This is when you start developing a lot of medical problems. You can develop ulcers, you can develop heart disease, you can develop depression, you can develop diabetes. So these are the things that obviously you want to treat way before you get to the second and third stage.
So the most positive, I guess, would be the alarm stage?
Yeah, it's your body kind of dealing with an acute stressor, whatever it may be. And that's a good thing, but when it's hard to deal with, you're not getting over the stress, then it becomes a problem.
So what if you're, let's say, having tryouts maybe for an athletic team or going through finals, and it's a 1 to 2 week, even a month period of time where you're constantly stressed? Is there a way to keep it at the alarm stage without it elevating up to exhaustion?
That's a good question, because yeah, you want to be able to deal with the stress. So getting your good sleep, make sure that you're exercising. Maybe talking to somebody. If it's not a true physiological thing like a tryout, but say that somebody died in your family, maybe go talk to somebody to see if they can't help you with that type of stress.
So that would sort of release the, not adrenaline, but exercise and speaking to other people, it just kind of releases.
It actually helps, yeah. I mean, it's going to help decrease your cortisol levels. It's not going to be so internal. That's probably one of the worst things you can do, is just internalize your stress and not deal with it. Try to put it on the back burner.
That's when you blow up at the end, right?
Right, exactly. Not good.
How do you properly handle stress without using medication?
That's a good question again. The biggest ones, again, without medication, is going to be the biofeedback, the relaxation techniques, and exercise. I tell everybody that comes into my office that's really stressed out that they got to start exercising, maybe even talking to a counselor, depending, again, on what type of stress it is.
What happens to the point where you need medication? Like, how do you know when it's gotten that far?
If it's really starting to affect your daily life, it's affecting your grades, it's affecting your work, it's affecting your home life, your friends, family are coming up to you and are saying, you know, what's wrong? I mean, you know, so you're just not looking good, you're losing weight. Yeah, it might be.
So anxiety symptoms?
Anxiety is a sign of stress, yes. So if it's getting out of control, you know, see your doctor, see your trainer, you know, just talk to somebody and see if you need to get something.
Do you seem to have a lot of people that come into your office that have pre-existing conditions that are actually caused by stress?
Yeah, you do. You see, I should say the biggest ones would be chest pain, heartburn type symptoms, weight loss. Those are probably like the biggest ones that you're going to see. You obviously want to rule out anything bad, so you would probably send them to the gastroenterologist, the stomach doctor, to send them to the cardiologist, make sure that their heart's fine, obviously get an EKG, chest x-ray, do some labs, make sure that their thyroid's fine. If those are normal, you know, it's been checked out by all the doctors, then it's, I shouldn't say all the time it's stress, but most of the time it is.
Thank you, Dr. Monette, for being here. I'm now going to take a deep breath and go home and stretch tonight so that I'm nice and relaxed and stress-free. We'll see you next time on United.
Because we did it when they said that we wouldn't, chose we couldn't, yeah we did it, you admitted you love it, fresh for the public, no other when they discuss it even makes the list, we're way too crisp, so know that you can never be this, send it going.
Pause right there, Paul, let me drop a form. Hey ma, how you gon' drop it form? Pop it form, like Jiffy Pop popcorn. When I'm on, it's not iffy, I'm in top form. I'm not your normal ordinary performer. You don't want it with the animal to run for the border. I ain't like these mother suckers, I'm a foreigner soldier. King me from November into late October. Trying at a lake house and picked out Range Rovers. Take out any trouble creeping over my shoulders, peep it. NOC, see it ain't no secret. We smash every beat. Someone please pick up the pieces.
Go ahead and take a snapshot before we blast off. We are the future, so back off, that's all. Houston, we have just hit light speed. Supersonic, unique technique, proceed.